This is Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome to another edition of Bergstrom's State Line Quiz Bowl. We are so glad you chose to join us this weekend. We are moving right along through February. We're also moving right along in our tournament. Our Elite Eight is 1/4 full. I won't make you do the math. There's 6 seats left, and that means one of our 2 teams this week will earn seat number 3. Will it be the Marengo Indians? The Indians are here after a very strong showing against Stillman Valley. Win today. Actually, scored nearly 300 points. I'm sure that's still fresh on your mind, Omar. Win today, and you guys are back in the Elite Eight for the 2nd straight season. That'd be pretty sweet. Who did you bring with you, Omar, to try and make that happen?
All right. Well, to my far right is Mariah, to my near right is Patrick, and to my left is Leo.
Good luck, Marengo Indians, taking on the North Boone Vikings. North Boone, you may remember, had a very tight game against South Beloit. Basically, Jet, you won by right around 2 questions there. A little too close for comfort, but it still got you here. That's great. Looking to make it to the Elite Eight for the 2nd time in 3 seasons. Also, a very impressive stat. Introduce us to your starting lineup, Jet.
All right, on my far left is Ryan, on my close left is Eli, and on my right is Hannah.
Welcome, welcome. And you're making Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl history because this is the first time these 2 teams have ever met in the 9 years or so of our tournament. Good luck to both of our teams. Hands on your buzzers as we begin this week with this question. Remember the 2 most important rules. Wait for me to call your name before you answer, and then say that answer loudly and clearly. Good luck, teams. Here's your first question. In 1987, MLB's Rookie of the Year award was officially named after what man who won the award in 1947, the same year he broke MLB's Patrick?
Jackie Robinson.
That's right. He broke the color barrier. He was the very first Rookie of the Year, and you earned the first points of the game. Ukraine-based Kalush Orchestra's performance of Stefania won what May 2022 International Song Contest? Will Ferrell's group Fire Saga actually competed in that contest in a Netflix series that was Eurovision, or the Eurovision Song Contest. What prince of Phthia, the leader of the Myrmidons, was inspired by the death of his companion Patroclus to slay Hector at the end of the Trojan War? Omar.
Odysseus.
Incorrect. North Boone, this will put you on the board. Go ahead, Eli.
Achilles.
Say that again.
Achilles.
You got it. That's right. Known for his weak heel. We got a tie game now. Both teams are on the board. What tissue that has trabecular and cortical forms contains collagen and calcium hydroxyapatite and sometimes contains blood cell forming marrow? Leo.
Bone.
Yeah, that last clue probably helps. You got it. What composer used a section called I Feel the Earth Move and several knee plays in an opera from his portrait trilogy, Einstein on the Beach? This composer actually did some of his studying at the University of Chicago, Philip Morris Glass. If Great Britain's Prince William succeeds his father as expected and keeps the regnal name William, what regnal number William would he become? Leo.
6th.
Incorrect. North Boone. Go ahead, Jet.
4th.
Incorrect. Right in the middle there, the 5th. William IV actually ruled 1830 to 1837. What actress who played the drug-addled daughter of Regan Thompson in Birdman played aspiring actress Mia alongside Ryan Gosling in La La Land? Leo.
Emma Stone.
Yes. You got it. Also, Gwen Stacy, the Amazing Spider-Man. What common name is given to any insect in order Lepidoptera that is not a butterfly? Leo.
Moth.
Yeah, you got that one too, pretty quickly as well, with relatively obscure definition. What American painter who showed 2 women in a Chinese restaurant in Chop Suey portrayed the lonely patrons of a late-night diner? Leo.
Hopper.
That's right, and you didn't even need the title of that famous painting, Nighthawks. You can actually see that at the Art Institute of Chicago. Edward de Vere is one of several figures proposed by anti-Stratfordians to be the real author of the works attributed to what author? Leo.
Lenin.
Incorrect. North Boone. Jet.
Mark Twain.
Incorrect. That's William Shakespeare. Some people, there's debate on whether he wrote those or not. What novel in which Arthur Holmwood donates blood to Lucy Westenra at the suggestion of Dr. Van Helsing was written by Bram Stoker? Leo.
Dracula.
You didn't even need the most obvious clue. You're right. About a vampire was the rest of that clue. What letter can denote the ball-shaped atomic orbital closest to the nucleus, or a value that can be, Leo?
S.
Yes, plus or minus 1/2 for an electron or its spin. What German composer of the Baroque era wrote a piece featuring the 8-note bass ostinato, D, A, B, F sharp, G, D, G, A, which is paired with a Gigue? Leo.
Wagner.
Incorrect. North Boone? Go ahead, Jet.
Bach.
Incorrect. It's worth a guess. Pachelbel. Johann Pachelbel. And that is how we end the round. We're out of time. Lots of good answers there, lots of good questions. Marengo's off to a pretty strong lead, 70 points right now. North Boone has 10. There's lots of game to play. Our next round is volleyball, and it's right after this break. We are back with our volleyball round here in today's Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Before we get to those questions, a very special thank you to our guest today, Ken DeCoster, longtime journalist in the Rockford area, kind of like the king of all media here in Rockford. He's been on radio, written for the paper, been on television, but maybe more importantly, too, on a personal level, he's a really good friend of mine and agreed to help us out and be a judge today. So, Ken, thanks so much for being here. All right, our volleyball round is a conferring round. Contestants work as a team, but answers have to come from the captains. Because of the flip, North Boone gets the first question. Jet, are you ready? Here it is. What statement, often written as h bar over 2, is less than or equal to sigma x times sigma p, limits knowledge of a particle's position and momentum? That is the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Maybe you would have known, if you're a Breaking Bad fan, maybe that would have rung a bell with you for different reasons, but no points there. And Marengo, this is your first question of the round. Here comes, Omar. What play by Thornton Wilder is narrated by the stage manager and takes place in the small town of Grover's Corners, New Hampshire?
Our Town.
Lawson, you get credit for that one. I saw you reach from all the way down the end there and shout that answer down. Also famous for having little or no scenery or set. Our Town is correct. Jet, in what country, where 3 tiers of windows were included in the Vegas factory, did architect Walter Gropius found the Bauhaus in Weimar?
China.
Incorrect. Germany. Back to Marengo. Maria Anyazi, Emmy Noether, and Fields Medal winner Mariam Mirzakhani are all women most noted for their work in which scientific discipline?
Physics.
Incorrect. Math. They're all mathematicians, or mathematics. We could have taken that. Back to North Boone. What show, which received a 2022 Emmy nomination for actress Rhea Seehorn, starred Bob Odenkirk as a wily lawyer who first appeared on Breaking Bad?
Better Call Saul.
Yeah. Second Breaking Bad reference this game. You got those points. Back over to Marengo. What man whose ship the Liberty was seized in 1768 was the first governor of Massachusetts and prominently signed the Declaration of Independence?
John Hancock.
That is right. Also has a namesake building in Chicago. Back to North Boone. In 1934, officers from what non-federal law enforcement agency ambushed and killed Bonnie and Clyde? Those were the Texas Rangers. Marengo. What subject whose positive theory was developed by H.L.A. Hart has a natural form in many philosophies and is practiced by members of the bar?
Law.
Yes, that's right. They have to pass that bar exam to become official lawyers. Back to North Boone. What American pop artist emulated the style of comic books in such paintings as Drowning Girl and Wham?
Warhol.
Incorrect. That was a very solid guess. Lichtenstein. Roy Lichtenstein. Back to Marengo. What city, the capital of the Spanish province of Navarre, is home to the annual festival of San Fermin, which contains the running of the bulls?
Madrid.
Incorrect, but it is worth a guess. Pamplona. And that running of the bulls traditionally happens in July. No points on that one, and that's how we end the round. Marengo is in triple digits now at 100. North Boone has 20, halfway through our game. But our NECA IBEW Lightning Round will change those scores very quickly. It's coming up in just a few minutes, but first you get to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question. We'll be back with the answer.
Which actor earned a Golden Globe nomination for his work in the Netflix series Living with Yourself, and is best known for his role as Scott Lang in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Halftime here on Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, and our halftime show consists of the Bergstrom bonus question. If you're watching at home, you already saw the question. Our contestants haven't, so we'll see if your answer is correct when they answer. Hands on your buzzers, contestants. This is just a typical buzz-in question, except instead of points on the line, it's pizza and or pasta from Lino's. Here we go. Which actor earned a Golden Globe nomination for his work in the Netflix series Living with Yourself and is probably best known for his role as Scott Lang in the Marvel Cinematic Jet? I will finish for Marengo. The Marvel Cinematic Universe. Go ahead, Lawson.
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd is correct. Nice job. You win the pizza and pasta. You know, with as big an audience as we had here, I didn't think I'd have to pause that long for your applause. Nice job. And the seemingly ageless Rudd returns in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which opens this weekend. Who do you think is going to be first in line? Maybe go have your pizza party and then go check out the flick. Who knows? Nice job, Lawson. We'll be back with our NECA IBEW Lightning Round right after this break. Lawson and the team are already making movie night plans to go have their pizza party and then see that new Ant-Man movie. Here's where the scores sit right now, halfway through. 100 points for Marengo, 20 for North Boone, and in the lightning round, there's a lot on the line. In fact, if you run one of these categories, you will add 100 points to your score. We've seen it happen before. Could be today. Again, who knows? Between these two teams, both have the potential to do it. First pick this week in the NECA IBEW Lightning goes to Marengo. These are your categories, Omar. A, in music. IE, or jails and prisons?
I like the music one, dude. I can't lie. I don't like the other two.
We'll take the music one.
The music one. A in music. Okay. Just to be clear, we're not handing out grades, although if you have any music students on there and you got an A in any kind of music history class, this could be a breeze for you. We'll see. Give these musical terms that begin with the letter A. That's as descriptive as I can get. You will have 60 seconds to go down this whole list. And then, Jet, you and the team will have 30 seconds to get what they don't get to, whatever points are left available. Advice to both teams, you can pass. So don't let that clock eat up on one question, and then you don't have time for the rest of them. Here comes your first one. Omar, are you and the team set?
Yes.
Give these musical terms that begin with the letter A. Elaborate vocal solo in an opera.
Pass.
The lowest women's part in choral music.
Alto.
Correct. Choral music performed without instruments.
Acapella.
Say that again.
Acapella.
Correct. A fast tempo, a bit slower than vivace.
Pass.
The science of sound production, in singular, a type of guitar.
Acoustics. Acoustics.
Correct. Chord tones sounded in succession rather than all at once.
Pass.
Device to increase the volume of sound.
Amp.
Correct. Direction to gradually play faster.
Pass.
Slow, expressive tempo used in a Samuel Barber piece for strings.
Pass.
From Latin for dice, music in which some aspect of the work is left to chance. No time to answer there. The clock ran out. You got 4 of them right. You're up to 140. So there are 6 left on the board, Jet, but you only have 30 seconds to get to them, and I'll read as fast as I can for you so we eat up as little of that time as possible with me asking. Are you ready, Jet?
Yep.
Give these musical terms that begin with the letter A. Elaborate vocal solo in an opera.
Pass.
Fast tempo, a bit slower than vivace.
Allegro.
That's correct. Chord tones sounded in succession rather than all at once.
Pass.
Direction to gradually play faster.
Advance.
Incorrect. Slow expressive tempo used in a Samuel Barber piece for strings.
Pass.
From Latin for dice, music in which some aspect of the word is left to chance. And that's our buzzer. One more, so you added 10 to your score. There's a lot left here. I will go through these answers very quickly for everybody. The elaborate vocal solo in an opera is an aria. Chord tone sounded in succession instead of all at once is an arpeggio. The direction to gradually play faster is accelerando. The slow expressive tempo used in the Samuel Barber piece for strings is adagio. The name of that whole piece is adagio. The piece is adagio for strings. And then from the Latin for dice, some aspect of the work is left to chance, sort of like musical improvisation a little bit. It's aleatori. That's that term. All right, so the scores now, it's a 110-point split, but you could bring yourself within 10 points, Jet, if you and the team can run one of these last two categories. They are IE or jails and prisons.
We're going to go with IE.
All right? Give these words that end in the consecutive letters IE. Again, if you can visualize these words, this may be pretty quick for you or pretty easy. And then Omar, same 30-second rule applies to you once we're done. Remember the pass option. Are you ready, Jet?
Yep.
Give these words that end in the consecutive letters IE. A 5-letter word for an impish sprite or fairy.
Pass.
A childish word for a germ or headlouse.
Pass.
In Marxist theory, the capitalist non-royal owning class.
Pass.
A shady figure who handles money for gambling bets.
Pass.
A relatively flat, treeless grassland.
Prairie.
Correct. A device that cooks food by constantly revolving it.
Rotisserie.
Correct. A shield maiden who guides the heroic dead in Norse myth.
Valkyrie.
Correct. A bakery specializing in fine French pastry.
Pass.
A score of 1 below par in golf.
Birdie.
Correct. A colorful elastic hairband.
Pass.
A 5-letter
Pixie.
word. Correct. A childish word for a germ or headlouse. And that's our buzzer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. You both boosted your score by 50. You're up to 80. That means there's still 50 points on the board, Omar, for you and the rest of the team. You ready? Your first one comes. Are you ready for this first one?
Yes.
Okay. Give these words that end in the consecutive letters IE. A childish word for a germ or headlouse.
Pass.
In Marxist theory, the capitalist non-royal.
Bourgeoisie.
That's correct. A shady figure who handles money for
Bookie.
gambling bets. Say that again.
Bookie.
Correct. A bakery specializing in
Patisserie.
fine French. Say that again.
Patisserie.
Correct. A colorful elastic hairband.
Scrunchy.
That's correct. A childish word for a germ or headlouse. Might as well let the buzzer go, right? That's the only one no one got. Think of the kid's name or kid's game where you build one of these. It's cooties or cooties. The C-O-O-T-I-E. And that's the only answer we didn't have. So it's a 100-point game right now. In this next round, though, that's only 5 questions because each of our questions is worth 20. We call that our final challenge, and it's up right after this break. There's only one round left to play in this Sweet 16 game between Marengo and North Boone. Marengo's on top by 100 points. Right now they have 180. North Boone has 80. On our final challenge, though, each of these questions is worth 20 points. That's the only difference from our first round. So hands on your buzzers. And again, wait for me to call your name before your answer and give me that answer loudly and clearly. Hands on your buzzers. Good luck to both of our teams. Here we go with our final challenge. What novel in which the warship Thunderchild is destroyed by a heat ray fired from a tripod was written by H.G. Wells about a Martian invasion? Leo.
War of Worlds.
Say that again.
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds is correct, and you've got those points. What American new wave band whose concert film Stop Making Sense opens with their song Psycho Killer? Leo.
Talking Heads.
That's right, led by singer David Byrne. 2 in a row. What island whose highest peak is Cerro de Punta is home to the Coqui Frog and El Yunque National Forest and is a U.S. territory led from San Juan? Lawson.
Guam?
Incorrect. North Boone. These could be your points. Nick.
The U.S. Virgin Islands?
Incorrect. Puerto Rico. What author portrayed a woman who borrows money from the merchant Leroux before killing herself with arsenic in the 1856 French novel Madame Bovary? Leo.
Hugo.
Incorrect. North Boone. Flaubert. Gustave Flaubert. At what university did Philip Zimbardo lead an experiment in which participants, Leo.
Stanford.
That's right, randomly assigned to groups of either guards or prisoners. What planet, whose poles periodically go through 42 years of darkness, has a 98-degree axial tilt and a larger radius than fellow ice giant Neptune? Jet.
Uranus.
That is correct. What American author who depicted businessman Frank Cowperwood in such novels as The Financier wrote the novel Sister Carrie? Jet.
Smith.
Incorrect. Marengo. Go ahead, Leo.
Capote.
Incorrect. Dreiser. Theodore Dreiser. Aluminum hydroxide is an example of what type of molecule that can act as either an acid or a base? Lawson.
A solvent?
Incorrect. North Boone. Amphoteric. What language appeared alongside English in Elias Boudonnais' Phoenix, a newspaper published in New Achota using a syllabary developed by Sequoia? Lawson.
French?
Incorrect. North Boone. Jet.
Spanish.
Incorrect. We're looking more Native American, as in Cherokee. That was the language. The charge of the Light Brigade was repulsed by soldiers from what country, which fought Britain, France, and the Ottomans in the Crimean War? Nick.
Russia?
That is correct. What author wrote about gambler Jim Smiley and the title animal whose name is Daniel Webster in The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County? Patrick.
Mark Twain.
That is right. Right before the buzzer, you get those 20 points. That's how we end the game. We're out of time. Marengo pulled away in that last round, nearly 300 points, up to 260. Nice job, Marengo. You are moving on to the next round. And North Boone, first of all, obviously you want to win and you're a little disappointed, but you should be very happy with the way you played. It's hard to make it even into the second round, but you played a very good game. Jet, you should be proud of your teammates. How many of you are seniors? So just Jet and Ryan. That means Nick and Sydney and the rest of the team you've had sub in and out throughout the game. We hope to see them next season, right? And we hope to see you next week. And actually, Marengo, you will play the winner of next week's game, which is Boylan or Auburn. We'll see what happens next week on Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Hope you can join us.